Peace, peace, y'all. How are you doing today, January 17th? As the world is getting burned down to the ground, and we all know it's by design. So we're just going to have a quick walk here. I'm going to play a call for parallel institutions, a clip from it from Asha Logos, one of the bravest, courageous, intelligent men you'll ever meet online. So here we go. Let's get this rock and roll. I have court coming up on the 20th of February. And I was denied access to the last bail hearing by email. I was coerced by government and justice system appointed thieves, lawyers, to comply. Otherwise, there will be no resolution. And so far, the resolution, they want me to admit to lies, saying I threatened two women that robbed me, saying I uttered threats. And this latest one, Sarah Groening from the local hospital, baited me. She was coached, and I have all the evidence I need. Anyways, let's go to parallel institutions.
What I mean here is that those most responsible for pushing this new agenda have a virtually endless supply of capital at their disposal. From the Federal Reserve and central banks at the peak of this power pyramid that literally print our fiat currencies as they please, to the multinationals and corporate interests who are such direct beneficiaries, to that wealth of NGOs and activist organizations. All institutions or individuals that can be motivated exclusively by financial gain are currently allies or will soon become allies of this disgusting, soulless machine. On the other side of this hypothetical battlefield would be all those motivated by higher aims, whether this be a belief in God or a deep and abiding love for one's family or children or their people or culture or nation. Higher aims that impart their thought and action with a positive and healthy spirit and a desire to do good and be just in the highest senses of those words. Remember that this moment in time represents an obstacle and challenge and a crossroads, and two possible futures await. Either we'll find ourselves waiting in line for the 30th iteration of some Marvel movie, surrounded by kids with soulless eyes making vapid TikTok videos, having to display some iPhone app to show proof of our monthly booster shot, only to walk home through a concrete jungle littered with feces and needles and vagrants, to a small apartment to eat our nightly ration of bug slurry, to dread waking in the morning, to drag ourselves to some 9 to 5 at a company we despise and have no personal stake in, as we slowly become ever more drained, disillusioned, and spiritually exhausted. Or we take an absolutely rigid and resolute stand, whenever and wherever possible, refuse to give another inch, and prepare ourselves, mind, body, and soul, for the inevitable fallout and collapse, carefully and thoughtfully constructing visions of how we might then someday rebuild, to usher in a mode of being vastly superior to the present in every conceivable way. To summarize this concept in a single sentence, we need to find ways to minimize our dependence on those that despise us and increase our involvement and interconnection with those of like mind on every front. They've cleverly monopolized a great many of the levers of power and influence and shut the door behind them. We can bang on those doors until we're blue in the face, or beg and plead for them to be reasonable, or compromise ourselves and make deals as the noose tightens. Or we can create new doors, new levers of power, new machinery,